Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome back to another FIFA 21 video where today we're going to be checking out the 5-2-1-2. Now for me, 5-back formations are not my favorite, and I'm sure the community, they have this conception that 5-backs are not great. And that all depends on the way people set 5-backs up. You know, if you set the 5-back up in a really attacking way, it can be an extremely effective formation. Now I've tried all of the 5-back formations, and some of them are good and some of them are bad. I know the 5-3-2 is probably the most popular of the 5-back formations. It doesn't work for my personal playstyle, which is why today we're going to be checking out the 5-2-1-2. Now the only difference between the 5-3-2 and 5-2-1-2 is one of those centre midfielders becomes a cam, and that is it. Now for me, I like formations that have cams, hence why the 4-2-2 is one of my favorite formations. You know, I think having a cam for me and the way I like to play just suits my game style, my play style, which is why it works very, very well for me. But the 5-2-1-2 is a solid formation. So in terms of the custom tactics for the 5-2-1-2, now I play on balance. Now you can play on a press in the 5-2-1-2. Really in any 5-back formation, it can be super, super effective. For me, playing on a press doesn't work. It just doesn't suit my play style, doesn't suit the way that I like to play. But a press can be really effective in a 5-back formation when you pair it with a really, really high depth, because you can just trap your opponent in and it can become really, really difficult to play against. But if you're someone like me and you like to play quite aggressive, playing on a press doesn't really work. See, for me, I'm quite an aggressive defender. I like to press really high. I like to get really aggressive and aggressive in my tackling. So I'm somebody that playing on a press doesn't work. If you're someone that like jumps into a lot of tackles and things like that, and likes to be really physical, playing on a press won't work well for you. So for me, playing on balance works super, super well. It also works well because it makes the formation obviously hard to break down, but not hard to break down in a defensive way, because I don't want my players to be all over the place. I want to have some structure when I'm attacking more than anything. You know, when you're playing on a press, your players can sometimes be all over the place. I've had times where I'm playing on a press and like Van Dijk will be at like the left mid spot, for example. So playing on a press can be really, really tricky. So for me, balance just works super, super well. In terms of depth, again, that really depends. For me, 7 is where I go to in all my formations. Now, what we can do is we can use fast build-up in this formation, which is super, super effective. You can also use long ball really effectively in this formation as well. For me, you can use either. I find long ball is really effective against lower caliber opponents, and it works really well against people that don't sit really, really deep. But when people do sit really, really deep, you need to change to fast build-up. So for people that are just playing normally, you can use long ball. For people that are playing really defensive, maybe if they're using like a 5-back formation in a really negative defensive way, then you can switch to fast build-up, and it will be a lot easier to break them down when you are using fast build-up. And in terms of the offensive width, I've gone really, really high. I've gone 9/10. You know, I've even tried it on 10. But it doesn't really matter. 9 and 10 are pretty much the same thing. The reason why we've done this is because we use the wingbacks as real wingbacks. They get really high up the pitch, and this is what makes the formation fun for me. I like to push the wingbacks on. I just like playing with, you know, just fun tactics, and I find that when I push the wingers on, when I've got players like Davies and Trent Alexander-Arnold Team of the Year cards, the best way, especially Alphonso Davies, when he's just playing as a left back in like a back four, he's just like every other left back. He's not great, but when I put him higher up the pitch, he's just so hard to defend with that combination of pace and dribbling. A lot of people can't match it. So I want to use him in an attacking formation and in an attacking way. So I thought the 5-back formation, the 5-2-1-2, as a left wing back, you know, playing with him super wide, super high up the pitch is the best way to get out of it. And that's really important. You've got to be able to get the best out of your players. What's the best formation that's going to get the most out of the players that you have? So in terms of the instructions, Van der Sar as always comes for crosses and sweep keeper, and obviously the back three are all on stay back while attacking. But Davies and Trent Alexander-Arnold, as you can see, I've got them on join the attack, conservative, and overlap. The main one here is join the attack. Like I said just a minute ago, I want Davies, I want Trent to be going high up the pitch. These guys get a lot of assists when they go high up the pitch as well. But like I said, when I use Davies in my 4-back formation, my 4-2-2, he's really good, but he's just like every other left back. I don't necessarily, you know, he's just decent. The only, when you're playing with them on stay back while attacking, the only important stat really is that if they've got good pace, have they got decent defending. But Davies is so much better when he goes forward. So when he's bombing up that wing as a left winger, whipping in crosses, using his pace, using his trickery, he's really hard for people to defend. So in a 5-back like this on join the attack, he's super effective. The two midfielders at Vidal and Seedorf, because we have the two fullbacks on join the attack, Seedorf and Vidal really want to be on stay back while attacking. I don't want them going forwards as well, because then I'm just going to be left with 3 centre backs and that's it. So if the wing backs are going forwards, then the midfielders need to stay back. If the wing backs are on stay back, then the midfielders need to go forward. So it really depends on which way you want to play. For me, I want the wing backs going forward, so I've got some width in the team, so Vidal and Seedorf can sit in. A lot of the times I will sub Seedorf off, put Kimmich back into midfield, and then I'll bring on like Tavernier or Kleiber in the central centre-back spot, just for a little bit more pace in the defence. We've then got Leo Messi in the cam spot, obviously the perfect player to play in that cam position. He's on free roam. He is a beast. Obviously, you want to have somebody who's got really good passing and really good dribbling in this spot. Not necessarily, they don't need to have the most amount of pace or anything like that. You know, anything sort of in the mid 80s, you know, low 90s is obviously really good. The main stats these guys need to have is obviously passing, shooting, and dribbling. You know, they don't even need to be the most physical, but yeah, pace is not super important because they don't do a lot of running in behind, because obviously we're playing on the fast build-up, you know, tactic, not the long ball tactic. They don't need to have super amounts of pace because they're not going to be running in behind. We're going to be using their trickery, their pace, their skill. So Messi in that cam spot is perfect. And then Ronaldo and Cruyff up top, my two 5-star skillers, obviously two really great players. Both on stay central, simply because we have the wing backs, the left and right wing backs, Davies and Trent. They're going to be providing the width. So I don't want the two strikers to drift out wide, so I want them to stay in the middle. I've got them on the getting behind tactic because we're playing on the fast build-up tactic. I want the two strikers to make runs in behind, but the rest of the team then won't. So that's really important, because I'm going to be able to play the fast build-up all the way up to the strikers, get the ball up to Messi. Now Ronaldo and Cruyff are going to run in behind, which is really important. So you want quick players up front, and it's just going to link up so well. It just meshes together really well. And we have them on comeback on defense, mainly as I allude to pretty much in every video, just to get them off the centre backs, because a lot of the time your strikers like to sit on the centre backs, and when you try and play the ball into your striker, especially if they're not very strong, for example Cruyff isn't the strongest, the centre backs can just bully him out the way and take the ball off him. And with the way refereeing is in this game, you don't get free kicks. So I just want to have him on comeback on defense, make sure he gets off the striker, and it also entices the opponent's defender to bring his defender out to get to Cruyff, and that can then leave space for example Ronaldo, obviously to run in behind. Now he's got the getting behind tactic on, and just obviously score lots of goals. And it works so well. I love this formation. I love the way I've built it. I think this is probably, in terms of building tactics, I think this is the one that just seems to work the best. This is the one that I find meshes together the best, and it just suits the way I like to play. And that's really important. You've got to build tactics that suit the way you like to play and that suit the players you have on the pitch. And I think probably of the whole year, I think this is the best custom tactic that I've built. So if you do want to go and try it, do make sure you do go and try it. It is absolutely amazing. But that's it for today's video, guys. Make sure you drop a thumbs up. Make sure you subscribe as well if you are new to the channel. Make sure you join our Discord down below if you're interested in getting better at FIFA, or just want to have a great place to talk about FIFA and just learn and have a good time. It's a great place to be. So make sure you join that in the description below. But that is all today, guys. Have an awesome day. I'm out.